Hey Silver Tubers, it's Mr. Zeke coming to you from the Silver Pouring Bench on Saturday, February 2nd. I just wanted to take a few minutes and express some feelings I've been having lately about the community at large and about my time in the community. I wanted to say thank you to everyone in the community who have been incredibly welcoming. And I wanted to say thank you for all who have supported me over the last years. It's been absolutely a hoot. And when I first started doing this, I started doing it sort of as therapy. At the time I was coin roll hunting, and I came across this channel of this guy who was pouring silver. He was melting it, and then he was pouring it into these bars, and then he was stamping them with a horse. And I thought, man, this guy's amazing. And so I followed his channel for a little while longer, and then got in touch with him, and we actually grew to be friends. We all know him as Hi-Ho Silver, or Bunker Bullion if you go back far enough. And over time, I learned a lot from this guy. And then I met some other folks. I'm not going to name everybody, but, you know, Vulcan was one of the early ones that I started watching. And that guy was crazy. He was pouring 2,000 degree silver into wood. And I thought, surely this guy's going to burn his garage down. But he didn't, although he did burn through some wood a few times. And then I met this crazy guy up in, sunny Manitoba, who we all know as Mike GPO. And the list goes on and on, Silver Saver, Silver Diva. I have met some of the most incredible people, Tassie Stacker, Tasmania Silver Stacker in Tasmania. I have met some of the most incredible people, over the last 3 or 4 years, and I just wanted to give a shout out to the community at large, because I have seen the community in what appeared to be shambles. It seemed like it was an all-out war at times, and then I've seen the community rally and come together and support, a fallen friend, or a friend with cancer. It's amazing to me what this community has been through in the short time that I've been part of it. And I just wanted to take a few minutes and reflect back on some of the things that I have been privileged to share in. And I wanted to say thank you to everyone who has picked up a piece of mine. I consider it, I never take it for granted. Not that anyone who hand pours silver takes anything for granted, but I never take any of that for granted, and I want everyone who has anything or has picked up anything of mine, I wanted to say thank you to them, because I never take any of that for granted. I don't pour as much as I used to. After the heart attack, I kind of slowed down a little bit, reprioritized time. I read a quote the other day that time is a commodity that once it's spent, it can't be regained. And that was a valuable lesson I learned through what I've been through. And I know there are many of you out there in the community who've been through similar life-changing experiences. But to those of you who have a piece that bears my Tree of Life stamp, I want you to know how much it means to me. And I want you to know that each piece that's been stamped was stamped by hand. Each little handwritten note meant something. I apologize to those of you that comment on my videos, the very few that I put out anymore. that it takes so long for me to respond, but I try my best to respond. It may be, right away. It may be 3 days later. But there's life, and there's life outside of YouTube. But I just wanted to take a few minutes and reflect and say thank you. One, for welcoming me into the community years ago, and for those of you who helped me along the way, whether it was a simple little question or advice. I've tried to pay it forward to new pourers. I haven't always been super friendly, but I certainly have tried to pass on the lessons that I've learned from those who came before me, and I will continue to do that. When I get a question, hey, what kind of furnace do you use? Or, hey, how do you get your stamp to turn out like that? I will always try to answer the questions as best I can. And so on this Saturday evening, I just wanted to say thank you to the community for being such a wonderful community. Through thick and thin and through better for worse, in the end, it is a community. I have gained brothers and sisters in this community and friends that I hope to have for the rest of my life. And so, having said that, I just wanted to say cheers, everybody. It's Mr. Zeke from the Silver Pouring Bench.